Kona is iconic, mythical, a place where triathlon dreams are made. And it is brutal, unforgiving, where triathlon dreams are crushed. So what makes Kona so tough and so magical? Most people don't need to be told that Kona is magical. The big island of Hawaii is magical in itself, with beautiful tropical beaches and year-round idyllic weather. It's also home, though, to active volcanoes and tropical storms and waves that can crush you. It is this juxtaposition of beauty and brutality that gives the island its magic. And that's what makes the Ironman Triathlon, held each year here in Kona since 1982, so mythical. The juxtaposition of dreams coming true and near perfect human performance, with the crippling, devastating failures of those people who have got it wrong and succumbed to the island's challenges. Each year, people have watched this epic spectacle unfold, and each year they come back for more. So let's take a look at what the athletes actually go through out here, because when you watch the best athletes in the world cruising around this island at 40 kilometers an hour or more and running around at under 4 minutes a kilometer, it's hard to really comprehend just how oppressive this course can be. The swim in Kona is magical, crystal clear, tropical waters, often surrounded by dolphins and turtles and millions of tropical fish. But it's also the ocean, which means it's salty and choppy, and it's not uncommon for big swells to come rolling through during the swim portion. And that's not to mention the inevitable chafing that you get from an hour or more of swimming in very salty water. And that is by far the most comfortable part of the entire Ironman day. Once you've survived the magical / brutal swim, it's time for the slightly less magical, significantly more brutal bike course. A quick whip around the town of Kona and up and down the Kukini Highway. Make sure your post-swim T1 adrenaline doesn't settle down for a while. And then it's out onto the highway, the famous, infamous Queen Kaamanu 2 highway. 50 miles of sun-baked, windswept, desolate asphalt road through the lava fields on the west coast of the Big Island. Sure, you can see palm trees and beautiful blue seas and even Mauna Kea, the highest peak in Hawaii. But as the sun rises and the wind picks up and that road surface starts to bake, it pretty soon becomes a pretty inhospitable place to ride a bicycle. We're out on the Queen K now, and at the end of this, after 40 miles or 60 kilometers, you make the one, the only turn pretty much on the whole course since you left Kona 35 miles ago. And arguably, that is the thing that really destroys athletes on the course. As if the heat and humidity and winds weren't bad enough, it is relentless. You just get no respite. Sure, there's uphills and downhills, but none of them are significant enough for you to freewheel down or really stand up and break your rhythm. You just have to grind, mile after relentless mile. And then you get all the way out to Harvey, you flip a U-turn, and you have to ride the whole relentless mile after mile back to Kona. And that brings us to the run. There's a reason most marathon majors are held in cool conditions. The ideal temperature to run a fast marathon is between 5 and 15 degrees Celsius, or 41 to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. In fact, there's been marathon majors that have been cancelled due to excessive heat, where the organizers fear for the athletes' health and safety. Normally this cutoff is around 30 degrees Celsius or 87 degrees Fahrenheit, but recently a marathon in the Netherlands was cancelled because of high 25 degrees Celsius temperatures. Kona starts the day warmer than that, and by midday, when the top athletes are starting the run leg, it can exceed 87 Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. And when you add in the humidity, it really ramps up. Not getting into specifics, but a wet bulb globe temperature, that is a temperature that also takes into account the humidity, exceeding 26.5 degrees Celsius or 80 degrees Fahrenheit, is considered dangerous by NOAA. And exercise in this should be limited, and extra cooling strategies should be used. Kona exceeds that by some margin. In fact, it gets so hot out here where we are now in the Natural Energy Lab at the far end of the course, around 20 miles in, that you could almost fry an egg on the surface. Not quite, because we tried and it didn't work. But it is currently 52.5 degrees on the road surface here, and the air just above it, not much cooler than that. So, are triathletes just tougher than marathoners? Or just crazier? Should Kona happen at all? I mean, the race was started in the 80s when, let's say, health and safety rules weren't what they are today. Would it even have got off the ground today? It's worth saying, though, that the heat and humidity in Kona is no surprise to anyone. The temperatures are pretty consistent here, so everyone knows what to expect and can prepare for it, unlike, say, a marathon that might happen in a freakish heat wave that no one is prepared for. And for this reason, there are a lot of contingencies in place by the race organizers, such as all the athletes getting a weigh-in on race morning and ice at the aid stations and plenty of well-stocked aid stations. But still, this race, especially for the pros who come through here in the hottest part of the day, is as much about overcoming the elements as it is about beating each other. Is all that, the swells, the chop, the heat, the humidity, the wind, whilst also battling head to head against the best athletes in the world, is overcoming all that brutality the very thing that gives this race its magic? I would argue that it is. Whether you're successful here or whether you leave here having failed in your goals, this race leaves its mark on you. And no, I'm not talking about the M. tattoo. For some, it is an actual mark. Wetsuit chafing, sunburn, battle scars. In fact, most will leave here with those. But for most, it is deeper than the surface. Call them scars if you will. I certainly have some psychological scars from doing battle on and against this island in the past. But it's deeper than that. And as those scars and the pain fades away, something remains, something deep, a mark on your soul. There is a magic here that touches everyone who dares to take on the challenge, stays with them, changes them, and for some reason or another, makes them want to come back and do it again. For now, however, I'm perfectly happy to come back and sit on the sidelines with a wide brim hat and a drink in my hand to cheer on the people taking on that challenge. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments down below if you've had the privilege of experiencing the magic and brutality of the Kona course, or if it's something that you dream of doing. We'd love to hear from you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.